isn't it?
I heard that green tea was an antioxidant, but it also helps with keeping you alert. There's a tea that I've tried called matcha, a Japanese tea. Does that have anything to do with keeping you alert?
Yeah, absolutely. So they all have caffeine in them. Okay. So they won't be as strong as coffee, filter coffee, particularly, or espresso, particularly. They do have caffeine. So some people find that while they get the jitters with coffee, they might tolerate that better. Another herb to look out for, which we did put in a Twinings UK blend. I'm not sure if it's in the Australian one. I can't think off the top of my head, but it's called Guarana, Guarana.
Yeah,
so Guarana is really good. Yeah. So Guarana has caffeine, but it's in a different form to the caffeine that you find in coffee. So it's a slower release. So again, some people who get the jitters because the caffeine from coffee is like wham right there. Sometimes they find that they can tolerate the Guarana because it's a slower release form. And so if you're not too sensitive yet, does that make sense?
It does, because I got the pure powder form. I tried it about 10 years ago, and I was going home to South Africa. I had a quarter of a teaspoon, and I was up at the nightclub until like 3 o'clock in the morning, and I felt great because I didn't need any alcohol to keep me alert. So I was like, this is an amazing natural high.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Gosh, I'm not surprised. I'm surprised you got to sleep at all after that. But yeah, so you're starting to see Guarana in products as well now. And it's like, well, yeah, for some people, if you really need to break through. So coming from the film and television industry, I completely get that. You know, people tell you to chill out and get your sleep and everything. But if your job means that you have to be keeping going and you have to break through, a cup of chamomile tea is not going to help you do that. A cup of chamomile tea is going to help you when you're staring at the ceiling, unable to get to sleep. But there's sometimes we do need that boost to break through. What I would say is that if you get downtime between jobs, that's the time to nourish your adrenals. Really nourish them. Try not to drive them so hard, and try to reduce the caffeine down. Because if we don't replenish them during our downtimes, they will eventually burn out. They can't keep going forever. So for women in particular, that often means kind of going into their 40s. That often means low thyroid function, which is sometimes not picked up on for a long time, and heading up towards perimenopause as well. That often means, because at that point they start to take on responsibility, some of the responsibility for estrogen production. They've never done that before. It's a new job for them. And if they are really depleted already, you find that at that point, a lot of women will find their anxiety going through the roof, their confidence dropping, they'll get other symptoms, you know, and for men, you find that if those adrenals are not supported and replenished in downtime, that's when you find the like blood pressure raising, all that cardiovascular stuff going on. And so it is, they're on the treadmill all the time. Life nowadays already means that they are working harder than they were meant to, because think about it, our bodies haven't changed a lot since we lived in caves, right? But think about how much society has and how much more we're demanding.
Yeah,
we should be getting up with the sunrise and going to bed at sunset. How many of us are actually able to do that? We're just not.
Yeah. Okay, so the other question I'm very curious to know, Pamela, based on your experience and all the clients that you have served, what are your favorite success stories?
Oh gosh, I feel like the area, so we often talk in herbal medicine about you attract a certain type of patient, you know, that you're very comfortable with. So good question. So I feel like I think that early on, I think my confidence grew because I tended to get a lot of people with gallbladder issues who were maybe on the surgery list. And the number of people over the years that have been taken off the surgery list because of a really simple intervention of essentially 2 herbs, one of which is growing in my garden out there right now, really gave me such faith that we could hugely change things. There's been a few women I've worked with who have been struggling to get pregnant and you know, have successfully got pregnant. They're always such a joy to work with women in that way. That's really lovely. A difficult time for them, but when it happens, you just feel it's so lovely. But actually, I think the most that I see is people coming in, or at the moment on Zoom, to see me, and they just don't know what's wrong. There's so many little things that feel like they're wrong. They quite often will be in tears in their first consultation because no one's actually talked to them about how they feel for a whole hour, possibly for forever. And what I love is when I can pull the threads together and explain to them that there's probably only one thing underpinning all of this. They're not going mad. They're not desperately ill. They're just exhausted. And that comes down to this adrenal health that we're talking about. And helping them to just understand what's going on with their body so they don't feel scared, and watching them gain in confidence and reduce anxiety and get better sleep and just start to really enjoy enjoy life rather than feel overwhelmed by it. It's such a gift to see people doing that.
Yeah,
really.
Thank you so much. I've learned heaps, as the Australians would say. Yeah, I'm definitely inspired and curious to try all these different herbs. And I think it's, even if you are not too sure the properties and the benefits that it can have, you can just simply use Google to find the answers, right? Or do you have a go-to website that you would recommend?
I mean, you can. I don't really have a go-to website. Google is good. I would say that the safety mechanism here really is that anything sold as a herbal tea in a supermarket is going to be safe.
Yeah.
Where I get concerned is people buying herbs in bulk over the internet when they have no idea what it is and no idea on traceability. So what I would say is sticking to stuff you can buy in a shop. And look, in Australia, in America, in the UK, you know, there are lots of local herbalists. Find your local herbalist and talk to them. We are there. We're out there. We're not very visible. We're not all that vocal. You know, and if anyone has a specific question, they're welcome to ping me an email and I'll do my best to answer it.
Thank you. And where do people find you?
So you can find me at my website, which is just pamelaspence.co.uk. You can subscribe to my mailing list there. There's a pop-up. There's actually a whole guide I've written to how to reduce your caffeine and what you can use for different circumstances. So for calming, for boosting, for immunity, there's lots of ideas there. So you can get that free guide by subscribing to my mailing list. So that pop up on the site. Or I'm active on Facebook, so my page is just Pamela Spence Herbalist, and the same on Instagram. And again, that guide's available in both places.
Perfect. And before you go, I would love to know the difference between a naturopath and a herbalist.
Yeah, absolutely. So a lot of people don't understand that. So a naturopath is someone who has studied holistic medicine. They've studied to about the level of a GP in terms of their a family doctor, we would say GP in the UK, like me, and they study some herbs, some nutrition, sometimes they do manipulations like an osteopath or a chiropractor would, some homeopathy, some, so some of all of those things, and they would put all those things together in a treatment package for you. When you see a medical herbalist, we're pure herbs. So all our studies are very in depth on herbs. We do some nutrition. We do some of us are trained in massage as well. We do some nutrition, but we are herb specialists.
Wow. Thank you. Such an insightful interview.
Oh, you're so welcome. Thank you for having me.
And I'm looking forward to you featuring in the TCC Tribe membership in January. Can't wait.
Yeah, so in January I'm going to be coming to do to be a guest speaker there, and yeah, that's I'm really looking forward to that.
And then the members can ask you a whole range of questions, and we've got a couple of chefs in the group as well, so I'm sure they would love to know and how they can better support the crew through food.
Definitely, and they can just hit me with anything. They can have my brain for the hour or whatever.
Perfect. Thanks so much, Pamela. Take care.
You're really welcome.